Welcome. I'm Rebecca, and this is meditation. Thanks for being here, and we will go ahead and get started. So, as part of my yoga training, I study the Sutras of Patanjali, and this is an ancient text that lays out many of the tenets of the full practice of yoga. So that includes philosophy, meditation, and asana practice, what we think of as yoga. And I came across Sutra 2.46, sthiram, sukham, asanam. And this means that your yoga posture, your seat, should be both steady and sweet. I know it's a little poem. Your yoga posture should be both steady and sweet. I love this idea of finding comfort and also stability and a sense of groundedness as you sit for meditation or move into your yoga practice. I also was struck by the interpretation of sukham as sweetness. We are just at the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah, and one of our typical greetings at this time is to say Shana Tova, Happy New Year, Umetuka, Happy New Year, wishing you sweetness. But I think to myself, how can we be wishing for sweetness at this time and place when things in the world are so difficult, so challenging, when so many are in pain? So by striving for balance between steady and sweetness is the way to find our way forward. Poet Stephen Dunn says, "Often a sweetness has come and changed nothing in the world except the way I stumbled through it." Mary Oliver has a different approach. She says, "My work is loving the world. Here the sunflowers, there the hummingbird, equal seekers of sweetness. Let me keep my mind on what matters, which is my work, which is mostly standing still and learning to be astonished." So let us look for sweetness in our everyday world, for joy and awe, in balance, a balance of steady and sweet, without judgment and with great compassion. Today, I wanted to teach you 2 pranayama, breathing techniques, that will help move us into this state of steady and sweet. Pardon me. So the first breathing technique is called Samavrtti, or same breath. And with Samavrtti, we inhale for a certain count, and you can count by counting your heartbeats, or maybe you hear a clock ticking in your room. I've even been in yoga classes where they had a metronome, that musicians use. But you can also just take a little bit of an arbitrary count. So let's say that you inhale for a count of 4. At the top of your inhale, hold for just a moment, and then exhale for a count of 4. At the bottom of the exhale, you'll hold for just a moment and then continue. And if 4 is not the right number for you, if 5 or 3 are better, then work with those numbers. But I'll lead you into this. So take a moment to get steady and sweet in your posture. If you're sitting, feel your feet on the ground, your bottom in your seat, and a length of your spine reaching tall. If you're lying down, lengthen the spine, feeling that contact all the way from hips to the crown of your head, maybe the back of your legs against the floor or your supports, your cushions. Become aware of the sensation of being present in your body, feeling what you feel, the textures, maybe the softness of a seat or cushion, maybe the carpeting or yoga mat underneath you. Rest your hands and notice what's beneath them. I feel the edges of my armrests and a little bit of my pants. Just move this out of the way. There we go. So noticing your sensory environment. Beyond touch, what are the sounds that you hear beyond the sound of my voice? Can you discern which sounds are nearby and which are further away? We've learned in our Zoom practice of the last full year and then some that we can hear sounds from other people's spaces. Sometimes it's an intrusion and sometimes it's beautiful. I can hear crickets as a friend sits outside on her porch, or the chirping of birds, or sometimes the inevitable leaf blower. Noticing without judgment, with great compassion, the sounds that you hear. And then begin to turn your attention more deeply inward to the sound of your own breath. Can you hear it as a sound, or is it a sensation? Or maybe both. Noticing your breath. Maybe there is one place that you notice at the tip of your nose, your upper lip, maybe in your chest or belly. Stay with that spot through a few inhales and exhales. As your attention is drawn elsewhere, bring it back to that place and the sensation of breath moving through your body. Allow your breath to deepen, expanding the length, perhaps the depth of your breath, just within a comfortable range, nothing strained or forced. Maybe slowing, pardon me, maybe slowing down the breath. And then we'll move into Samavrtti, same breath. Inhaling for a count of 4, maybe. Holding at the top of the exhale, of the inhale for just a moment. And then exhaling for a count of 4. And holding at the bottom of the exhale for just a moment. And continue. Inhaling for whatever your count is. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Exhaling whatever your count is. Pausing at the bottom of the exhale. And continue. We'll stay with this for several breaths. Noticing the effects of Samavrtti. We will come back to this, but the next pranayama that I'd like to teach is called circle breath. This is a little bit more of a shallow breath. We'll inhale and then exhale, inhale and exhale, not fast, but without pauses. So a slow inhale and then right into the exhale. Right into the inhale and right into the exhale. I like to imagine either a circle, the breath flows out and then back up and in, circling out and then back up and in. You can use the image of a wave if that's helpful. The wave goes out and then peaks, coming back up and out again. So circle breath, a little bit shallower, no pauses. Let's try this for several breaths. And slowly releasing circle breath, coming back into your natural breath. And taking a moment just to notice both of these techniques, Samavrtti and circle breath. Noticing maybe you can tell the benefits or the things that you don't like about each of these breaths. But we're going to go into our longer meditation in just a moment. And I'll lead you back in. We'll start with Samavrtti, we'll move to circle breath, and then you'll have the choice to stay with one of those or come back into your natural breath. So begin again by noticing that your spine is long, that you're reaching from tailbone to crown, lengthening your spine, a sense of enlivening. So even as we rest in our meditation, we are very much awake and engaged. Notice how the breath helps you to expand and to release. Opening up on the inhale, softening and letting go on the exhale. Allowing the breath to flow comfortably through the body. We'll begin with Samavrtti once more. Noticing what was a comfortable count last time, maybe 5 or 2. What is the count for you? Inhaling for a number. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Exhaling, same number. Pausing at the bottom. Continuing, same number in, pause. Same number out, pause. Stay with this breath for several repetitions. Creating balance. Coming back to the feeling of breath. You may stay with Samavrtti or move into circle breath. It's a little shallower, but still slow, and no pauses. Inhale right into the exhale. Circle into the inhale, right into the exhale. Finding sweetness, sipping the breath. stay with Samavrtti or circle breath for many repetitions, allowing the breath to captivate your attention as we seek a balance of steady and sweet. And when you're ready to release the breath, come into your natural breath and soften into silence, held steady and sweet by our shared practice. We'll come into about 8 minutes of silence. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. When you feel ready, bring your palms together and begin to rub, creating friction, heat. And when your palms are nice and warm, cup them over your eyes, allowing the heat to penetrate and dissipate. Slowly release your hands down. If you're lying down, roll to one side, pause, and then press into your hands to make your way up to sitting. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community we create whenever we practice together. Bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale together. Just 1 second, sorry. Here we go. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other.